Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week Wisdom and Legacy Building podcast. This is day 664 of our trek, and it is time for our Mindshift Monday series. Wisdom Trek's primary focus is to assist you in creating your living legacy. Creating your living legacy can only be accomplished by gaining wisdom in many areas of life. You can only gain wisdom by changing what you allow to go into your mind, which will result in changing the way you think. Our world is rapidly changing, and we must keep up with these changes if we are to remain relevant. In other words, to create a living legacy, you must choose to be in continual mode of mind shift. It is easy to get stuck in a mindset that your current circumstances cannot be changed. This is just not true. But you must understand this fundamental principle. In order to change your life, you must change how you think and what you think about. Our Mindshift Monday podcast and journal will provide you with practical ways to make a mind shift to a rich and satisfying life. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. Our granddaughter Hazel is continuing her chemo treatment through August before they switch to a different regimen in September. The oncology staff has prepared Elizabeth and Nat by telling them to enjoy the remainder of August by including some fun activities for the family because the next phase is going to be more difficult for Hazel. Just like the recent major events in our lives are changing how we view the world and consider life, you never know what may be part of your next season of life. When you are in a continual mindshift mode, you are preparing yourself to adapt and accept these changes, whether they are pleasant or not. It is also our choosing to have a mindset that life is about encouraging one another to live to our God-given potential. God desires you to make a difference in your world, but it may require that we help each other. So on our trek for today, have a mind shift that will help you to realize that you and I can change our world. I remember a story from days gone by about a 10-year-old boy who was selling pencils door to door in his neighborhood. When an interested adult at one of the houses asked him the reason for selling pencils, he replied, "I want to raise $6 million to build a new hospital for the city." Amazed at his answer, the inquiring adult exclaimed, "That's a mighty big job for just one little boy, isn't it?" "No," responded the 10-year-old with big dreams. "I have a friend who is helping me." The world God created is a big and beautiful place in which we live. Unfortunately, humanity has somewhat ruined the world, and that needs to be changed. The task is large and would be difficult for any one of us to make a huge impact. I don't think I can change it just by myself. I do need your help. You might ask, just me? That's right, just you. We must change with the time through continual mindshift mode, but the real question is, are we big enough to actually change the times? George Bernard Shaw said, "The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable man attempts to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man." The Apostle Paul put it in a little bit different way in Romans chapter 12, verse 2. "Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know what God's will is for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect." If you and I are willing to be unreasonable by transforming our thinking, perhaps we can change our world. You see, history has been altered many times in the past by various groups of people. Here are some examples on how history has changed. First, we want to start out with 50,000 people in 1 Chronicles chapter 12, verse 33. From the tribe of Zebulun, there were 50,000 skilled warriors. They were fully armed and prepared for battle and completely loyal to David. But if we cannot find 50,000 to change the world, how about 7,000? 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 18. "Yes, I will preserve 7,000 others in Israel who have never bowed down to Baal or kissed him." But what if 7,000 cannot be found to change the world? How about just 300? In Judges chapter 7, verse 7, the Lord told Gideon, "With these 300 men I will rescue you and give you the victory over the Midianites. Send all the others home." But if we cannot even find 300 to change the world, how about 120? Acts chapter 1, verse 15. During this time, when about 120 believers were together in one place, Peter stood up and addressed them. But what if we cannot even find 120 to change the world? How about 50? Robert E. Speer in 1917 said, "If 50 men in our congregation can be found who will enter the holy place of prayer and become henceforth men who God has touched with a prayer passion, the history of the church will be changed." But what if even 50 cannot be found to change the world? Well, how about 10? Dwight L. Moody said, "If 10 men will give themselves completely to the will of God, they will be able to change the world." And in a discussion between God and Abraham, God clarifies his willingness to use just 10 persons in Genesis chapter 8, verse 32. Finally, Abraham said, "Lord, please don't be angry with me if I speak one more time. Suppose only 10 are found there." And the Lord replied, "Then I will not destroy it for the sake of those 10. And if 10 cannot be found to change the world, how about just 2? Jesus told us in Matthew chapter 18, verse 19, "And I tell you this, if 2 of you agree on earth concerning anything you ask, the Father in heaven will do it for you." You see, 2 people can change the world. Will you join me? God needs both of us and wants to use us because you and I can change the world. This will require that both of us are in continual Mindshift mode. And with these thoughts in mind, we will conclude our trek for today. And as we do, let's make a Mindshift change that we can change the world. Next week, we will continue our trek on our Mindshift Monday. And on tomorrow's trek, we will explore another wisdom quote. This 3-minute wisdom supplement will assist you on becoming healthy, wealthy, and wise each day. Thank you for joining me on this trek that we call life. Encourage your friends and family to join us and come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past daily treks or read the daily journal, they are all available at wisdom-trek.com. You can also subscribe at iTunes or Google Play so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.